Hi, good morning. Merry Christmas. I hope you all are having a great Christmas with your families, your friends, your chosen families, or even if you're spending Christmas alone, I hope you're marking the occasion in a way that's special to you. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you're just having a great time, just relaxing and yeah, just relaxing. So, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all. And here I am with my baby August, and it's become quickly apparent that I have way more outfits. And so to showcase them all, I would have to make way more videos, but it's fine because remember, I think I like mentioned before that um in our culture we celebrate until mid-January. So the Christmas season lasts until, Epiphany, the day of Epiphany, when the three kings, went in search of baby Jesus and, brought him gifts. And so the girls are real excited, wink, wink, because it's more Christmas and it's more presents and more celebrations, and they love that. And I'm excited because I love Christmas and it just stretches out the whole day, the whole season. And what I love is that I think sometimes when something is a kind of abruptly taken away from you, at least this is my experience, um, when something is abruptly taken away, like it's over, I think there tends to be like a lot of buildup for the anticipation. And I think there tends to be, a flurry and a lot of excitement on the day of. And then all of a sudden it's over. I think that can be a little bit traumatic. Like, I remember when I was young, I would always kind of feel a little bit down when something super exciting, happened and all of a sudden it was over. And so, what I like about our tradition is that you have time to, you know, you have the time to prepare ahead of time. You have the celebration. And in our family, Christmas Eve was really big. That's when we usually did our dinners and most of our openings. There's this joke that in the Latin culture, really it's Christmas Eve. You know, um, we all really celebrate then. And I just want to show you. I love his little feet, his little feet. And let me see if you can see. I love, love, love his little shading. Look at them little toesies and those little nails. Anyway, sorry. Sometimes I'll look at something and, you know, um, I'm kind of like a little squirrel where I'll like, you know, I'll I'll think of other things and get sidetracked. But yeah, so I like this kind of easing into the holidays, the celebration of, and it lasts more than one day. And we have such a big family, and this was always true with, extended aunts and uncles, and in the Latin culture, we also call our parents first cousins because they're usually older. We call them aunt and uncle as well. And so that's something different from the American culture. I think in the American culture, they would be considered like your first cousins once removed, something like that. But in Latin culture, they're your aunts and uncles. And so it would be like a week at least of visiting and, making our way. And it wasn't just about one day, and it was catching up with relatives. And it's still that way. I have, thank goodness, I have 2 entire additional weeks off. I feel really blessed. And we have a schedule of who we're going to visit and all, beautiful plans. And so yeah, so there's so many things, to look forward to. And the winding down process can be gradual, and I really like that. And so, I changed my girls into Christmas dresses. So if you follow me on Instagram, Dolls and Kitties, you'll see them in plaid. But those actually are not their special dresses. And so I decided that they're fancy special dresses, I'm going to wait for Epiphany, the day of Epiphany. And, you would think I would write it down, but of course I didn't. But I believe, goodness, I know, Kitty, if you watch this from Kitty, if you do watch this from a Little Wattle Nursery, I know you're going to correct me and you're going to supply the information on what exact day, but I think it's the second Sunday of January. And so, yeah. So they're going to, they're going to wear their special dresses for that day. And, I'm just kind of the type that I can't change them right away. Like, I really want to enjoy them in one outfit. I want to hold them. I want to take pictures of them. And I want it to last, especially because there are certain outfits that I will keep because they're special. But then there are certain outfits that, okay, I'll use them a few times. And so I at least, in a way, kind of want to get my money's worth and really enjoy them in that outfit. So yeah. So here is little August. And if you took a look at my video of our morning walk, I dressed him in this outfit all snugly. And I let me show you. Let's see, where did I put it? Here it is. I dressed them in this little vest and I bundled them all up and we went on a walk to the park. It's a very short video, but check it out. And so yeah, so here he is, and I've never dressed him in green, and I gotta say I love the effect. And I had a match with him. I have my green cardigan. And so yeah, and I just love how this color looks on his skin tone and his hair, I love his little wispy hair there. And so yeah. Anyway, it's a dark, gloomy day today, and I gotta tell you, I love it. And in Los Angeles, it's always, sunny, and honestly, I get tired of all the sun. Like, it's kind of like Groundhog Day. There's no change. And so that kind of gets me a little depressed. And, and how funny that would get me depressed, right? Of all the sunny days. And, but it does, and I love this change, this rain. It's raining today, and the darkness. And I also love that since it's dark in the home, I put on my Christmas lights, and I love that. And I just love that, you keep that spirit of Christmas alive a little longer. Now, I recently reweighed him a little bit, and I put more glass beads in his bottom, and it made his bottom a little bit bigger. So I've been needing to buy him a bigger diaper for a while now. And so I have mostly stuffing at the top, and it's my first attempt to reweighing any of my reborn dolls. I've filled some of them with stuffing, a little bit more stuffing, but I never toyed around with like the glass bead polyfill ratio. And so, yeah, but this is the first time, and I was a little bit scared, but I knew not changing, not reweighting him would be worse than experimenting. And so I can't say it's perfect, but I think it's a little bit closer to what I would like. And so, yeah, things had shifted in him, I've had him, it's going to be almost a year in February. And so I just had to change some things around, and because it was kind of affecting, how he would pose and how it would feel when I would hold him. And so, yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I'm going to keep kind of playing around with different little strategies on how to reweight him. And so, yeah. And, I didn't get a onesie for him. Let me go ahead and do that. Usually I have everything prepared. So let me go ahead and do that really quickly. Actually, do I need it? I don't need a onesie. Okay, yeah, no, I don't. I think he'll be fine. And so, I changed all the girls into, I think, 2 Christmas outfits. Yeah. So my girls, my big ones, were featured in a little Toddler Tuesday video, and I when I changed them into those outfits, I was just like, I've got to keep them in that longer. They just look so adorable. And I also have, them in their Christmas pajamas, which they're gonna put on tonight. And so yeah, I just have to leave them in that. And I haven't had time to take a lot of pictures of them in this second outfit, because I've been busy doing Christmas things. I've been busy shopping because I'm kind of a last minute shopper. And I've been busy. Oh, you can hear Feliz Navidad. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I got real distracted. But so yeah, I've been busy shopping and busy prepping. And so that's what I've been doing. And so this is what he's going to change into. I think it's a fun little outfit. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to change him into. So here we go. And so yeah, so yesterday we had a very quiet dinner at my mom's place, and my brother is visiting from out of town. He's from New York, and his family is here. He's got two beautiful daughters. They're 5 and 12, and the oldest one is my goddaughter. And I have two goddaughters, and she is just amazing. And I've got to tell you though, every time we see each other, which is about, once a year, sometimes twice a year, there's always that period of getting reacquainted. And she's entering that age where it's not as easy. Like, for example, the little one came and she hugged me, and she really doesn't know me, and she was just happy, and she was jumping around. She was playing with my sister's new cat, and she's just the little one is so loving, but not that my older girl isn't, my goddaughter, but the little one, it's just so easy. She smiles, she laughs, and part of it is because of her age, but part of it is her personality too. She's always been very strong-willed. She's never really had any trouble expressing her feelings, whereas my goddaughter has always been a little bit more reserved, a little bit more quiet, thoughtful, and and always kind of measured her words, and it's always taken a while for her to warm up. Now, thank goodness, I've always had a way with kids. At least, that's what I've been told. And I used to work as a substitute teacher, and I loved teaching all grade levels, but especially the elementary and, believe it or not, middle school kids. I always got along so well. I always was able to really connect with the kids. And I think a big part of that is because I remember what it's like to be a kid. Like, a lot of my friends sometimes say, Rose, you remember all of these details, because sometimes, I'll tell them stories, or I'll, in my writing groups, I'll write about childhood memories, and they'll say, how do you remember? And they'll tell me they don't remember hardly anything. And I will remember things from when I must have been, 2, 3 years old. And I don't know what it is. And I think it's a blessing overall, but I think it can also be a little bit of a hardship, because it means you remember people's words. It means you remember what people did. And so when people have long gone, and grown up, and we've gotten older, there I am still thinking about it 20 years later. Anyway, so coming back to my niece, it was like getting to know her again. And, ever since she was a little girl, I used to take her on outings when I used to visit her in New York. We used to go to the Metropolitan Museum, the Museum of Natural History, to Central Park. And she was always so well behaved, and she would listen to me, talk to her about the artwork or about history. And years later, she would recite like exactly, things I shared with her, and she would remember paintings we'd seen in museums, and sometimes we'd see them like in magazines or television, and she'd be 10 years old and she'd say, "Oh, Nina," because that's what she calls me. I'm her godmother. So it's short for madrina, which means godmother in Spanish. So she'll say, "Nina, remember we saw that at the Met, and you told me," and she'll go into a long history, a long story about the painting and the detail. And I was like, "Mija, you remember?" And she'll say yes. And I remember I was that way, and I would remember lots of things adults would share with me, both good and bad, but mostly good, thank goodness. And you know what? Can I tell you something? Like, when I look at the past, I think, people are just trying to, thank goodness with age, I've come to realize that people are just trying to live their lives, right? And they're just trying to get by with the tools they have the best way they know how. And thank goodness I've come to really kind of see that. And in all people, in mostly, yeah, in all people, and that's brought me a lot of. Okay, so here we are. I freed up some space on my phone. That should tell you, be a hint as to how many pictures and videos I have. And honestly, it's mostly my cats and reborns. Yeah. So anyway, so I was just saying how, it's a gift to be able to reach a certain age. Sometimes this comes with age, sometimes it just comes with experience, and be able to detach from, in a healthy way from, from experiences. And so here we are. Here's my August. And so she's very special. Like I was saying, you know, but the thing I thought of when I saw my goddaughter and when I was listening to her speak, and she was telling me all about her junior high, and I was trying my best to just listen and let her, express herself, and just really, listen. Um, was that I thought for a moment, I'm like, this girl is 12 going on 25, in a lot of ways. Like she's just always been, a little bit more evolved, a little bit more wiser, I guess, And then I try to step back and say, okay, yes, to all those things, because I think it's part of the culture she grew up in. I think her parents tend to be like a little bit more savvy, a little bit more sophisticated. Um, and I think, I don't know any other way to describe it except that she's a New Yorker. And, but at the same time, I got to remember, oh, she's also 12. Like, she's 12, and not to think she's an adult or doesn't have the needs of a 12-year-old. And, so yeah. So anyway, so today is our big holiday party. We're going to all gather out at my cousin's house, which is very special because they used to live in the back apartments of our home growing up. And on Christmas Day, we would always go up to my aunt's apartment, and she would have stockings for all of us. And she'd always have walnuts, oranges, candy, and small gifts. But to us, they meant the world. They were great. And we would sing carols, and we would usually plan and practice singing for her. And we were quite the choir. And so my aunt passed away last summer, during the lockdown. She was in a retirement home, but her daughter continues the tradition of gathering all of us. And, it's very, very special. So there will be at least, I want to say, maybe 20 of us there. And that's not even the whole family. And so, yeah. And so, what do you think? Doesn't he look gorgeous? He looks gorgeous in all colors. To me, he is perfect. He is perfect to me, and I love him. And this is a nice place to be in my reborn collecting experience. This morning, I read a post that said, "How do you know when it's time to move on?" And I responded that you know it's time to move on when you start asking that question. And I remember 6 months after, I remember that about 4 months after I received my first reborns, I started asking that question. I had my first two babies, then my Lilu came to my collection, and then my Vivi. But when Mr. August here came to my collection, he was my first very well made baby with details, and he was more than anything I could have asked for. And I'm forever grateful to his artist, Aurora De Giovanni Lucas. Love this woman. I love her so much. I showed her a picture of the baby. I showed her a picture of my dad. And she just put her heart into him. And she created him, and it was just beautiful. And when I received him, I knew it was time to move on. And I let those other two babies go. And I sent them off to mommies that were so excited to have them. And ever since then, every baby in my collection is like my forever baby. And I don't know. I guess if I want to close with something, it would be, Christmas is a great time, and especially New Year's, to reflect on what are things that have served us, but it's time to let go. And what are some things that, to make room for the things that are waiting for us, that are new, that are meant to bring joy to us, meant to teach us a lesson. And so, we can't have room for everything. So I know it's reborns and I know it's dolls, but I think in life we got to let things go in order to make room for new, bigger, and better things that will help us grow. And I hope you are well, my friends. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. And just to let you know that these Christmases with my reborns have been the best Christmases in my adult experience. And Christmas, as long as I'm in the hobby, will never be the same. They will always be special. And I have a whole community to share that with. And I want to say Merry Christmas. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and that I love all of you. Goodbye.